Happy Women's Day again. Okay, we are here to interview Leslie Sackey, and I'm so happy, so thrilled. We're just having like a technical problem because I cannot invite Leslie, and we're seeing if it has to do with the update from the Instagram. And for all the Portuguese followers, that's my Portuguese. São todos portugueses, né? As portuguesas lindas, feliz dia da mulher a todas. Eu estou a dizer que estamos aqui com um pequeno problema técnico e vamos ver se isto funciona, senão vamos todos para o Facebook. É só para estarmos aqui em preparation, ok? Que eu vou tentar aqui adicionar, lá está, porque a mim não me aparece, imaginem, tipo, alta formação para fazer este IGTV Live e convidar a Leslie aqui, mas não me está a aparecer para realmente fazer isso. Ter a possibilidade de fazer. Por exemplo, se eu quiser convidar uma de vocês para vir aqui live, eu não consigo fazê-lo. Exato. Não permitir que veja a história, não faz sentido, restringir, bloquear, não é nada disto que eu quero, não é? Queria mesmo o invite. Ok, Fábio, já estás cá? Fábio, já vi aqui. Ok, já vi. Lightworker enviou um pedido para participar no teu vídeo em direto. Ver pedido. Agora, espera aí. Qualquer pessoa que possa ver os vídeos também pode ver este vídeo em direto. Ou seja, se temos um pedido, mas se eu quiser, por exemplo, convidar a Alice, não me aparece, não me dá a possibilidade de convidar. Vou experimentar aqui então, aceitar o pedido. Ok? Exato, já me aparece, Fábio, nem vale a pena, ou seja, porque me apareces tu para fazer. Ou seja, deixa-me só aqui experimentar, ver pedido. Vamos transmitir com direto, antes de estarmos aqui on fire com a nossa querida Leslie. Deixa eu ver então, ver se apareces. Fábio. Ora bem, a ver se é preciso fazer alguma coisa. Sabe como é a primeira vez, esta é a primeira vez que eu estou a fazer um direto e... Olha, nós temos aqui a Fábio! Pronto, ok, Fábio. Yes. Ok, muito bom ter equipa. Very nice. Então vamos ver com a Leslie. Eu vou ver aqui, até vou abrir aqui o WhatsApp para ver se ela consegue entrar. Entretanto, Fábio, já que estamos aqui contigo, e aqui a nível de entretenimento, enquanto não entra a nossa querida Leslie, diz-nos que tu foste a primeira, se calhar, mulher, a dizer assim: Andréia, feliz dia da mulher, não é? Como só acorda, está com a criança, está com tudo. E eles dizem: eu vou fazer um vídeo sobre o dia da mulher, temos que esquecer, não é? De celebrar o dia da mulher. Depois fui eu ter com o Roberto e diz assim: baby, feliz dia da mulher para mim. Por isso, diz-nos, Fábio, neste bocadinho que temos, enquanto eu vou ver aqui, checar o WhatsApp no computador, diz-nos, o que é para ti o dia da mulher e porque é que o dia da mulher é importante para ti? Diz-nos lá.
Me pegou de surpresa agora, né?
Bom. Para quem não sabe, a Fábio é a nossa querida assistente, ok, daqui das redes sociais, é a nossa community manager, por isso também é sempre bom ter a visão dela sobre o que é este dia da mulher e porque é que é importante para nós, Escola da Abundância, também celebrar este dia da mulher. Vamos lá ver.
Bom, eu acho que, primeiramente, grata por estar aqui, participar dessa live nesse dia tão especial. Feliz Dia das Mulheres, para essas mulheres tão lindas que estão com nós aqui diariamente, né, neste espaço, nessa comunidade. E, bom, eu acho que, para mim, o Dia da Mulher assim, é algo muito importante e que nos permite nos conectar mais com a nossa feminilidade, né? Nosso lado feminino. Às vezes, assim, este mundo nos leva a estar mais, né, naquela coisa, aquela rapidez, aquele lado mais masculino nosso. E, assim, o Dia da Mulher pode nos trazer essa oportunidade de nos conectar com este lado mais feminino e também dizer que, assim, participar dessa comunidade e com tantas mulheres lindas, isso nos conecta cada vez, pelo menos para mim, me faz estar cada vez mais conectada com o meu feminino e cada vez mais em abundância.
Olha, só para fazer aqui um update, então realmente a Leslie está a fazer o update lá no Instagram dela. Ela está a demorar um bocadinho de tempo, mas que ela vem, pessoal. Então isto aqui é mesmo assim uma preparation, não é? E é engraçado, também estavas entusiasmada com a Leslie, não é? Tipo, tu disseste hoje de manhã, André, mal posso esperar por vir ouvir a Leslie, não é? A história dela é assim impactante.
Eu estava entusiasmada, sabe por quê? Porque eu também faço boxe.
Tu fazes boxe, eu não quero acreditar. Epá, então temos que vir aqui. Isto dá para estar as três juntas? Muito bom, muito bom. Olha, a tua mamã está aqui a comentar. Olha que lindo, quanto orgulho de você. Beijinho, pá. Ai, eu pensei que era a Bonatti, a tua mãe. Eu pensei que era a tua irmã. Engraçado que eu já vi ali o perfil. Pá, as mães jovens são assim, não é? Muito bom. Epá, é super especial, realmente. Para quem quiser ver já alguma coisa da Leslie, antes de ela vir para cá, vejam no site dela de Boxing Boutique, não é? E esta é a parte linda, não é? Epá, pessoal, quem já nos conhece há algum tempo, nós sabem que aqui, mulheres na Escola da Abundância, nós somos guerreiras. Estão a ver o que é mulheres guerreiras? Então eu acho que isto é muito bonito, não é? Porque remete-nos à altura de Artemis, ainda por mais é a deusa que estamos a trabalhar no Círculo das Deusas, deste mês é Artemis, que é a deusa guerreira, mas ao mesmo tempo com esta parte feminina ativa, não é? Tipo, nós estamos aqui arranjadinhas, um cor-de-rosa, tipo um blush, não é? Tipo um azulinho, tipo uns óculos a condizer, não é, Fábio? Ou umas veias pintadinhas, não é? E esta é que é a beleza, não é? Tipo da boutique, não é? Dessa parte de, não, nós estamos cá, não é? E se queremos ter sucesso na nossa vida, não é? E tu sabes, não é? Tipo, que tu acabas também por ser empreendedora dentro deste community manager, não é? Este upgrade também que aconteceu aqui na escola, não é? E de, epá, não é? Tipo, também tem que ter esta mentalidade empreendedora de experimentar coisas novas. E temos de ter um bocadinho acho que a Leslie já está a vir, desta parte de empreendedoras. Olha, Boxing Boutique, welcome, welcome, welcome. We are here, like, deixa-me só terminar aqui isto, ou seja, ter esta parte do box, a parte masculina, mas também ter a parte do boutique, que é a parte também mais feminina. Fábio, eu não sei como te retirar daqui, agradeço, estás aqui um bocadinho, pá, grata mesmo. Tenho que te retirar ou consegues sair tu?
Grata.
Pá, um beijinho enorme, pessoal.
Sim, eu consigo
Beijinho
sair.
enorme para a Fábio, grata, 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 por estar aqui um bocadinho connosco. Que
Beijinho.
bom.
Até
Até
já.
já, Fábio. So welcome, Leslie, again. This is so nice. Leslie, can you send me a request, or I'll try to see if I can. Oh yes, 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 Leslie. Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. I think we'll come. Welcome, dear Leslie.
Finally, the wonders of technology.
Amazing. Like we were saying that, of course, like you are so special, and it's so nice to having you here that we needed to do like an introduction. You know, like it's
Okay.
like okay.
Okay, well, thank you. Thank you very much. I hope you can see me okay.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay,
So
perfect.
people will love. There are some people here, and even my team was telling me like, "Oh, I'm so looking forward to meet Leslie because I'm doing boxing also, or like community manager is a boxer." So we didn't know.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's amazing. It's Fabi, the one who was here with me. So I maybe I'll first ask you about your story. So we're here like in this Instagram live speaking about challenges and victories of a woman's entrepreneur. So we have like different challenges and maybe we celebrate different victories being a woman. So I think like let's see our connection. I think the connection is a little so we'll keep going, no? Yeah, you're back again. So like the path of a woman is different, and even you have like well, I'll just like stop talking and I'll ask you, tell us a little about your story and how did you create the boxing boutique, like this mix between this boutique and this boxing.
Okay, so I'll give you as short a version as possible. So my journey into boxing started, I was working in music. So as a kid, I wasn't very, I hated sports. At school, I always had a note saying, look, I'm on my period, I don't want to do PE. That's how bad it was. I hated it. And then, um, and then I started as a way to keep fit, as an alternative to go to the gym. I didn't like the idea of just being in a gym around my early 20s. And I started and I had one class and felt like I was dying and was like, who does this? I was like, oh my gosh, who does this? And then something clicked. I don't know. It was just, there's something about boxing that really makes you feel just physically good, but also just like it keeps you on your toes. You're always guessing, you're always doing something new. And I think that that stimulated me. I always, when I look back, I've always liked to challenge myself, and this was no different. So I just kind of snowballed from there, and I ended up I was working in music, so late nights and networking and partying, and boxing is the opposite. So I said to myself, look, like my coach said, why don't you try having a fight? So I said, yeah, okay, fine. I think, and then I lost, but I learned so much from that loss. And then he was like, why don't you enter the British Championships? I said, sure, why not? Again, not very, just, see what happens. And then I entered and ended up winning. And from there, it just snowballed. I was selected to box for England. And then it came to a point when they were just announcing if female boxing was going to be in Olympics in 2012. So whilst it wasn't my dream, I'd become, like, boxing became my focus and I was good at it. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to give myself a year to just really commit and everything's boxing. I'm going to quit my job. I'm going to focus on this and see what happens. And within like a month, I'd applied for this TV show called Last Woman Standing. And I think, in fact, our connection is because I think during the time, maybe you knew my mom, and it was airing in Saudi at the time as well. So it was crazy. But it was basically about 5 female athletes that travel the world and live in different tribes and compete against each other. But what was really interesting about doing the show was coming from someone who had never been fit at school or into sports. Boxing had given me a confidence that I could do other things. So it was more than anything mindset, which I'll get to. But so I done that, and then I made it to Olympic selection, but didn't make the Olympic team. One of the reasons is I was in between weights. But I think at that time as well, I'd already done well or exceeded my expectations, because truthfully, I didn't really have any. It was all new. I forgot to add, I won a gold medal in the Europeans, which was amazing. It was a big deal for me. And then
what? Can you repeat that?
I won a gold medal. So I represented Team GB as a female boxer. I won a gold medal at the European Championships.
It's amazing.
And I'd found out that was the first time that a female boxer for England had done that on first entry. So it was pretty big. And I think I look back now and think how great it was. At the time, I was like, yeah, just doing it, And then I stopped. So after I found out I was pregnant, days before I was due to box. So here I am at 28. So say I'm supposed to box on Saturday. I found out I was pregnant on Tuesday. But this time I think it was a fight just to see how I felt. Like I was coming to what I thought was the twilight of my career boxing wise. And I moved, it just felt like a natural progression. That was when the boxing boutique was born. So I always felt that women, when it came to boxing, it's such an amazing sport in terms of what it does for our confidence, for our mindset, for our body, how we deal with things outside of the ring. And I felt like at the time, this was 10 years ago, it was watered down. So it was always like boxing was kind of like watered down to appeal to women. And I felt like I really wanted to offer a space where it was, female focused, not excluding anyone, but it was focusing on females and was a space that didn't compromise on the authenticity of boxing. And also, at that time, walking into a boxing gym can be pretty intimidating. Like, first of all, it smells. There's lots of sounds and noises and testosterone. And that's it. I love the gym. I was very comfortable. I've grown up with 2 brothers. But I also, I have a very feminine energy as well, contrary to the stereotypes of female boxers. And so I wanted to translate that and create a space for women to train, whether they wanted to compete or not, but just enjoy the benefits of training. So that was the birth of the boxing boutique. And I think over my journey, I've really identified that it's for every lesson I've learned inside the boxing ring, there's a lesson outside of it. So my journey of boxing and fitness has given me tools to navigate and survive motherhood, business, entrepreneurship, ups, downs, everything. And all I'm really wanting to do now at this point, the boxing boutique has evolved. So I've evolved. It's been 10 years. I'm not the young girl who was like, I want to, teach boxing. I learned more things. And that's
so
really
you are in business like this female, because for instance, in Portugal, I feel that we are like seeing this female boom, you know, like everything, like business, female business, like sports, like female sports. But you're like 10 years ago. It's a long time. No, you're in England. You were in England that by that time. So it was like in that moment was kind of like was like a how you call it is original, right? Like was like kind of like that you felt you saw that need and you just like go to it, right? So it was like and because sometimes people when we start being entrepreneurs, no, we tend to like, oh, let's see what's happening, no, and kind of depend on what is happening. But like the great ideas and the great entrepreneurs and the great woman's entrepreneur, like you just felt something, no, you felt something.
I always, anything that I'm offering, it goes back to what I think I don't get or what I don't think appeals to me. And that's all I can go for. And then my experience of working with so many different women. So from working like, you know, highly successful, efficient women, but still like struggling with confidence, or from, you know, like female students, or like just there's a whole different, you know, new mothers. um, I find that we're so capable as females, and we just still have that thing that makes us like just beat ourselves up, question what we're doing, like, and I'm just like, and it's a journey for me too. Like, I don't, anything I'm saying or talking about with clients or people, I'm not sitting here from a place of, you know, do as I say, or, you know, I'm talking from my experience and sharing that knowledge, because truly, if I can, I'm telling you, you can. And the tools of boxing are just the vehicle. Like, it's just the learning for it. It can be boxing, it can be tennis, I don't know, any yoga, anything, cooking. It's just about a practice where you can bring that into your daily life and use it.
I see like when I look to yourself, I really see like this strong, confident woman. No, it's like, as you say, like I met your mom. I love your mom, like Veronica. She's amazing. And I met her in Saudi Arabia and we're still friends. And it's like we're amazing like trips together. And when she spoke about you, I was like, oh my God, I love that woman. I don't know her, Leslie, but I love her. And one thing that I feel in your energy is like that great confidence. And could you speak a little more? Because I think we all have like some moments in our lives that maybe were challenged, but they were also like that bringing a lot of confidence. I don't know what was your impact, because I know that last woman standing program, I'm not sure that I'm saying it right, but that is like
Yeah,
about
yeah,
survival, right? It's like 5 women surviving in Philippines. Like, can you
yeah.
tell us a little how that shaped also your like your business? Even like I don't know if you had the business at the time, or how was like.
Yeah, I just started. I think it just, more than anything, it gave me an understanding that you are so much more. We are so much more. And that we have this, all of us have this pool, or like resource inside of us of resilience. But we only know it's there when we go through hardship, and then that's when you tap into it. But I'm like, once you've accessed it, it becomes the point of reference. So you're like, listen, have you ever been through like a really hard time, but you're still here? So you think, oh my God, like if I can get through that, I can get through this. And that's kind of the foundation. So it's really just about saying, I'm going to find a way. And sometimes it's just learning how it's different approaches. We always focus on the end result. So it's the destination. Like, we're always like trying to get to that end result, but the process is the most important part. That's where you get the learning. So, and that's where I'm at now with the boxing boutique, in terms of sharing that. So of saying it's not just the physical, it's the internal, and all of that helps. Whether you want to box or whether you don't even exercise, it's a valuable tool to say, listen, we are stronger than we know or think.
Yeah, yeah, because that's the stronger part. That is like the entrepreneur part, right? Because you really need to be like resilient, as you say, like go through the challenges. Because like as an entrepreneur and a woman and a mother of 3 daughters, and I think this is amazing here for Women's Day. Like, oh my God, you are the person like to invite today. Is like a woman entrepreneur, like the boxing boutique with all that like male female harmony, and then the
Yeah.
three daughters. Like, what really when you think about people, because a lot of people that listen to me, it's like there are people who are like they really want to start a business, but sometimes they lack or confidence, or they lack the sure, like like the doubts. Sometimes it's like, oh my god, should I go here or there or there? What you could go, from like 10 years or more of
Yeah.
like your experience being a mother of three daughters, like
Yeah.
what you could say to this woman who want to try and to start a business?
I would say think about your setup. So first of all, what kind of parent do you want to be? So for me, it sounds obvious, but for me, I wanted to be a parent that I could pick my kids up from school, that I could drop them off, that I didn't get, like my mum was a single parent. She done an amazing job, but I understood the pressure that she felt when one of us was sick and she had to juggle work or trying to get to school after pickup before, it's really late. And I felt like from that experience, um, I, the kind of parent I wanted to be was to be able, if I could, sometimes it doesn't happen like that, but if I could, then I wanted to be there and have a job that my kids can see, especially as females, see me creating, and that anything is possible. And that sometimes you don't need, look, I went to university, I've done all of that, but you don't need, you know, it's not always that route, the formal route, PhD, or like going to mean that you can't be successful. So I think for women who are wanting to set up a business, first think about your setup in terms of how you would like your family to function. Do you want to travel a lot with your family? Is your business able to transfer online? Um, and how will that work if, your kids are sick or if you can't get to school? Like, how do you have the flexibility, or does that require your business is going to require you being there all the time? And there is an element of juggling. It's just motherhood and juggling are not separate. So it's just, but I think that's the good place to start.
Yeah, that's amazing. I see it now because like just yesterday I was discussing with Roberto, and it's like what is the life that we want to create? Because sometimes like if you don't think on that, you're just like go with the flow, right? But sometimes
Mm.
going with the flow is like just repeating patterns, right? So
Yeah.
we need to be really aware and like, no, like this for me is really important. I really want to be morning time, nighttime free, so I can imagine like work the afternoons. So I think that's really a good point to start, because sometimes people start thinking, oh, let's choose this because this is what is the fashion, like
Yeah.
what is famous now or popular, and not
Mm.
that's usually not the best way, right? We need to start from inside. What's best for us, and then who is the people who I can help with this, right?
I think it's the support network as well. I think that's really important. But also a fundamental question, which I find people don't ask themselves enough, is what am I good at? So what are my skills? What am I good at? And how can I make money from that? So say if you're someone who is really organized, like they know how to, really make things organized, start looking. There's no point looking at a business that doesn't include those skills. Like, use what you're good at, use your strengths. Are you someone who is good at kind of working with people? So if you're someone that enjoys working with people and is really good at it, you're not going to pick a job that doesn't involve that. It's like really simple, is to think about what it is that you're good at, and exactly that, what kind of life do you want to create? And I think this whole pandemic situation has really made me consider that, is that what kind of life do you want to create for yourself, your family, for the people around you? What would that look like? And not feeling like you can't do it. That's the problem. Not feeling like
Yeah.
you can't do it. Oh, that's just an idea, or that's just, I'd love to live somewhere else, and then it's like, but I won't. And then you continue doing the same thing. It's not
And it's
useful.
interesting that your medicine for the confidence that you're sharing with us, like not like do this and like just see the world, no, just see what you're good at. But like what you did also was like what you were good at and what helped you. That's also like it's like really creating your dream life, because you start loving boxing, boxing, how you say it? Boxing? Boxing.
Boxing, yeah, boxing, yeah, yeah.
And then you're just like, okay, let's just go with this passion that is my passion to other people. And I saw here people saying, oh my God, Leslie, you're amazing. Because
Yeah,
for sure you bring your passion there, right?
yeah, I do, but it kind of chose me, if I'm really honest. Like, I was not, anyone who knows me or who, like, even, I was terrible at sports at school. Like, not into, I was smoking on the tennis courts at school. Like, I was not into sports. So, so my point is how can this girl who wasn't into fitness, wasn't groomed from an early age, how can I suddenly be here, you know, having done what I've done in sport and then having a business that was based essentially first on sport and boxing. And so it's just we have all this stuff inside of us and we don't know until we just try different things and do different things. I just want to say, someone asked me a question about do the women you have trained, have the women you have trained with from the beginning, and did you teach them to grow, and are you still with them like a sisterhood? So I think that was Leia Lewis. So yeah, so I'd
Yes.
just like to say most of it's really interesting because when I first started the boxing boutique, I was also around the same time that I was pregnant with my first child. So from my first child, I have clients, and most of my clients have stayed with me. And I think it becomes about, I still like to, and I think that's the beauty of boxing, like you can always keep it different and people feel interested because there are so many aspects and fundamentals to boxing training. But I also think it's the mindset as well. And I like to think it's obviously maybe what I offer too, but um, they've been with me through my journey as a trainer, as a businesswoman, as a mother as well. So I have clients that when I first started, I was pregnant, training them even with like a big belly, and then having the baby, having like my maternity leave, and sometimes as crazy as it is, going into the boxing gym with the baby in the car seat, sleeping while I'm training them.
Wow,
Um,
really? That's
it's
amazing.
yeah, it's like, well, it is and it isn't. It's kind of like you just, again, you do what you have to do in terms of, you know, trying to create.
But
And
you see, like sometimes people like I speak for myself, right? I have like this strong thing, like if I feel to do it, I'll do it. But I can see that there's so many pressure when you feel something. It's like so many blocks, no, like so many, and that could be like a block for you. It's like, oh my God, I have like my child. Well, I can cancel the class, but you didn't do that. And why you didn't do that?
I think
What is moving?
I think there's a lot of things. I think I was very much, it depends on your circumstances as well. And I think sometimes you're put in a situation where survival is the only option. So you look at, so when you're having to survive, like you create opportunity that probably, or you create the energy that comes to you. So when you're like, I need this to work, it's like a tunnel vision. So things start attracting and you, not always, but it's definitely, and I think in those situations, I was starting my business, I was flying solo as a mother with these three small kids and just trying to hustle and make it work. And that's it as well. But in the process, learning during that as well. So, you know, and I think people are becoming more accepting of working mothers. Like you're not like an alien, or sometimes, you know, I've had meetings sometimes where I've had to bring my kids along, but also it's not just because I haven't got someone to look after them. Sometimes it's that, but also I want them to see me in action. So see that, you know, this is what happens when you're running a business. You meet people. These are the kind of things we discuss. You know, this is cool because it means that your day isn't always one thing. Look, I get to go here and meet. You can see this cool place, and it's a whole experience. I really encourage people to include their children in the process of running a business, whether it's designing or, hey, you know, here's my new logo. What do you think? Which color do you like? Or you're teaching them the entrepreneurial spirit as well.
Well, I think that that point is really important. It's like we tend to exclude kids from everything. Like I remember when I worked as a nurse in palliative care, like it's like, okay, kids far away from death. And like even like, oh no, maybe imagine even this, like it's like a kind of like how you call it, like not everyone thinks the same, but I was like also reflecting today. Is like, okay, my daughter born in my family, and I'm like really exposure to social media and to people. Like I love people. I love to share my child. Like, oh look,
Mm,
look my baby, and
mm,
it's like sometimes we still have that. No, the it's like the like we were living 20 years ago or 50 years ago. It's like okay, be hide, but like being like a business owner and being like an entrepreneur and being is to be visible, and that's something also is like really painful for the woman. At least for my clients, who are like, oh, to be visible. And you are speaking a lot about confidence, and I think that's really important. And it also goes to there like about be confident enough to show yourself to the world.
Yeah,
So
but I must tell you, Andrea, like I struggle sometimes. So yes, I'm confident, but I still struggle with visibility and that, as a business owner, how much you want to put yourself out there. You want people to obviously have an experience of you, but also at the same time, boundaries is a big thing as well. So I think and I'm still learning that now. I think it's a choice. And I think you get to choose how visible it's you decide. And I think the problem lies when other people start commenting on how you should be doing things. That's
yeah.
that's really the problem.
Yeah, yeah, you're totally right. It's like confidence, visibility, but yeah, of course, the most important is like doing something that feels right to you, right?
Mm.
It's like
Yeah.
and be aware of that boundaries and what is yeah, because yeah, I think that's really important. It's like what is success and what success needs, but the real success comes from you feeling right inside, right? So
Yeah.
being really, really respectful of what you feel with
Yeah.
yourself.
What is comfortable for you to a degree. So this is a tricky one because it's what is comfortable to you, but then there's that whole conversation of like, well, I'm pushing out of my comfort zone. I'm challenging myself. I think that an element of fear is healthy. I think if we it's how we use fear. So if we use fear to drive us forwards, or was that feel the fear and do it anyway and just push forward, as opposed to using fear to like stop us or paralyze us, or I think that's the difference. But it's again, it's all learning. It's like what is comfortable, but then we want to challenge ourselves, but only you really know.
Yeah. And let me ask you a question, and I'll ask if someone has a question to Leslie from what she's speaking. Now you see that she has like this experience, like 10 years, like three daughters. I can imagine that is like kind of like crazy sometimes. The question is like, I know through your mother, that's like my communicator, that you just moved to Ghana,
Yeah.
right? And Ghana, like for like it's like I don't even know. Sorry, like my ignorance. But I know like it's like a middle in Africa, like or is south is middle, right? I
Yeah,
think.
so this guy is west.
Okay,
West. Yeah,
so
yeah.
so tell us why you decided to move to Ghana because you were in London, like the boxing boutique was
Yeah, I'm
physically
in
in London.
London. I'm here on a temporary basis, so it's not technically moving, but I definitely took some time out because I felt like I really was asking the question, what kind of life do I want to create? So I was talking a lot about, I was, the first lockdown I was in London and we navigated it. And actually, if I'm really honest, it was a good time for me business wise because it gave me the space to really think about and time to create the business offering now that I want to like my journey as where I'm at. So it gave me the space to do that. And it also helped me transfer and try out working online with clients, which was, before not a possibility, but now is becoming the norm. So it really provided me with a lot of opportunity. And then I used it and ran with it. And I was like, listen, where I want to be somewhere, the time difference, so things like that, the time difference. Obviously, my dad's from Ghana, and I have a connection to the place, but also I want my children, they're mixed. So I'm Irish and Ghanaian. They're Irish and St. Lucian and Ghanaian and English and all sorts. And I
Beautiful.
wanted them to also have an experience of the world. Like I'm always talking to my children about the world, and we travel a lot. We're lucky that we can travel a lot, but I think it's about them. Kids learn through seeing, and so for me, I felt like that was the best thing to do right now, especially when it feels like the world has paused. So I wanted to be somewhere. So on the one hand, the world felt like it closed off, but on the other hand, because of online access, it was this whole new world. enabling me to sit and talk to you from here, and you're there, like true International Women's Day, Portugal, Ghana, you know, and then working in London. So I think it's a beautiful thing, and I think it's just about creating the opportunities you want for yourself.
Yeah, and I think that you put that the because some people has like the fear of like losing family like in the business, and that's amazing because you really have the choice, and you made that choice. Like no, first now is like go to Ghana and rethink even the business because the business needs this female energy, this like fresh place to really grow from. And another question is like because I'm just like thinking is so you're telling me that you put the boxing boutique online. So if I want to work with you, I could now?
Absolutely. So there's two parts to it. Yes, absolutely. So you can do,
Woohoo!
so it's called Box and Become. And the reason is Box focuses on the physical. So every Saturday, 9:30 for 45 minutes online, you sign up for a class and you do the link. Women from all over, we work out. It's not about whether you can box or not. It's really just about following me, feeling good and doing what you can. So I really wanted to create a class that does exactly that because I understand the benefit of.
Just a moment. I think I'm like we're losing you. So I'm just like wondering if we need to buy like a boxing glove. Not really. Okay, people, are you liking this video? Are you liking to meet Leslie for the ones new here? And yes, of course. Let me add. Yes. Yes. Okay. Yay!
I'm back. So I was just saying, so just basically, so the boxing part, so every Saturday you can pay like for a one class or monthly, and then that gives you access every Saturday. And then the Become is really about doing the vision, the internal. So we'll be running groups and kind of vision coach, what I call vision coaching, which will be coming around May, which is like a 7-week course where we focus on creating the life that you want using all the tools from, you know, manifestation to learning how to create meditation, but also goal setting, the practical aspects of things as well. We're working with vision boards, which I think is really exciting. So it's going to be like a holistic approach using the practical and also the, you know, the spiritual and internal to create what it is that you want to do or be or see. So I think it's really exciting in that sense. And that means I'm able to access everybody everywhere, women everywhere.
Yeah,
So
that's the great part, right? And even the coronavirus, like it's like okay, just like look inside and see really what is important for you. And let me just ask you something because so like you have like every Saturday 9 that is Lisbon time is like Ghana time or London
so
time?
yeah, GMT time. So UK time, which is 9:30 for 45 minutes. So
Yeah.
I can share a link, or it's on my website, or you can go to the Insta page. I'm always posting about it now. So
So okay, we have your page now, Boxing Boutique. So
yeah,
the,
yeah.
the thing is like, so you put the physical body, right? The physical together with the minds.
Yeah, exactly. And all it really is that when we move our bodies, we feel good. So there's, you know, even in some small way, and that's all I'm trying to encourage women to do is move your body, no matter how small. Don't beat yourself up because you didn't go the extra, you know, you didn't get up and do something. Just go and move, and I promise you will feel better. Whatever's going on, the hardest part is just showing up. But trust me, I accredit it to, you know, traumatic relationships, to, you know, stressful business stuff, to anything. It just really gives you a tool. It's an extra tool that we all need in this crazy, challenging life that we're living. So I'm just saying, hey, I've got something that will work for you. It works for me, and let's do it. Let's just have fun and enjoy, and the rest
I
will
think
come.
we could like I have a question also. Do we need like a gloving box?
No, so you don't need any equipment. Obviously, a shameless plug, but we have the boxing boutique shop, which has got wraps and skipping ropes and things like that. But you just need yourself. So gym clothes, a space. It doesn't have to be a big space. It can be in your kitchen, your sitting room. It's just enough so you can move, and
So
that's it.
if I want to go next Saturday, so I do you have a link, like a direct link, just to sign in for the next class
Yep,
on Saturday?
yep. So I'll send you the link. You can sign in, you pay, and then they send you the Zoom link, and boom, that's it. Technology has done it for you. You're
So
here in the space.
and that's amazing because you will be in direct, right? You will be in Ghana with that energy from there.
Yes, that energy, but it's like my energy travels. So that's the thing. It's like you get the vibes, and like my energy travels, and that's again that's what makes the class what it is because I'm committed to sharing and helping you get the energy. I'm helping you get the energy.
You
So
know, like I'm like that person that you were like maybe 20 years ago. That's like sports for me is like this. It's
yeah,
like the hard part. And I like since the second week of February, I'm training every day. I bought like a course like after having the baby. You know, it's like a Brazilian course on like the mother that is like fit basically.
yeah.
So it's like just 14 minutes a day, and I'm managing to stick to it. But I think I would love to keep going and having some more like sports and movement with fun. And I think being with you, so I how you say it, I send a challenge here for my community to be together the next class, like on Saturday, on next Saturday. So the people who are listening to me now and Leslie got frozen. So if you would love to be with me and with Leslie next Saturday, I didn't even know that was possible to be training directly with Leslie, and I think that's like a great thing to really enjoy. So it's like that's an invite. It's like that's the word invite. Let me just see, Leslie. Leslie, where are you? She will come back again. So we are about to finish. Okay, I got it. Yes. So do you have any question to Leslie? Any question? I'm just saying that we're like kind of about to finish. I send an invite and I'll invite my, let me say, like my community to be there like on Saturday. That's no limit of people being doing that, right? And it's just
Yeah,
45 minutes on a Saturday.
it's
That's
just
amazing.
45 minutes. I promise you will sweat, you will feel good. And it's adapted to all levels. And I think that's again, it's like, it's 45 minutes. I'm like, even if you've never boxed before, just copy me. I'm not trying to focus on technique and all that kind of stuff. It's about just getting the movement and feeling good and then, and go from there. It's just, and also another thing is you don't have to have your screens on. This is another big thing. Sometimes women don't like, they don't want to like show
Oh
up
yeah.
on Zoom. So you can, if
Yeah, yeah.
whatever's comfortable for you, have your screen off, be in your knickers and pants and just like box, whatever,
That's
whatever
amazing.
feels good.
Oh, that's
So
amazing. And
I'll send you the link. And we're also running shortly. I'll be delivering like a learn to box course. So you pay one fee and it's 7 videos that you can do to learn how the boxing basics. So you can do that in your home without worrying about other people getting it wrong or right. So I'll send you the
so
info as well.
let me ask you like a question that I think is maybe a little ignorant. Is like boxing the same as kickboxing or no?
No, so it's completely different. Yes, you're using your arms, but you stand differently. I think it's too. It's like saying I don't know, judo and karate are similar. It's yes, you use your arms to a degree. It's a combat sport, but that's about it, really.
So we need to
But
try. We need to try and see if we fall in
just
love
try
as you.
it. Yeah, I have a question. Someone's saying, how do you channel the physical strength in your daily life? I think it's just about when there's something about when you push yourself physically, it helps you when you're coming up in the situation that feels challenging, you make a connection where you're like, I done something really hard and I got through it. And so you're like, yeah, but I done that. I didn't think I could. I didn't think I could step into the ring and box. I didn't think I could win a gold medal. I didn't think, until I started to think. Do you understand? So you start making that physical connection. It's like I didn't think I even liked boxing. I didn't think I'd want to show up for an exercise class on Saturday morning at 9:30, but here I am doing it. And oh my gosh, afterwards I feel good. I might even do it again. And then you just start challenging yourself. So physically, it's just about small steps, challenge and making the connection. The two are inextricably linked, and I think that's what we miss is that no, you don't have to go run a marathon to feel like you're physically strong and that you're connected, but you can challenge yourself.
And I think it's great because one thing that I really feel is important for us as entrepreneurs is having that strength, right? Like if something challenge happen, you have like your mind is like knows that you can overcome obstacles, right? And if you're more sedentary and if you don't move, things is harder to move also in your business. So I think it's really like for me, like 2021 is like one part of my dimensions that I want to really get skilled on. That is like the physical, and as you say, like the difficult part is showing up. So
Yes.
lastly, like I really wait for your sharing the link, and I'll share with my community. Say like, look, this is the invitation, like the boxing boutique, and I'm sure that we'll feel that mix of energy, male, female.
Yeah, I'm just sharing the website now in the messages. And then
Great.
while I'm doing that, I had a question from someone, Alice. She's saying, how did you adapt your training when you were pregnant? So from that, how did I adapt it? I read up and researched a lot of things, and I listened to my body, and I understood that I had to slow down, which isn't always easy. And then I ended up doing a pre and postnatal training course that allowed me to qualify to train women who were pregnant or postnatal, because I felt like it made sense that here I am, a mother of three, who's used to physically being fit, but also working with women who need support at these different stages. So yeah, so I do that as well, and I offer one-to-one sessions as well, according to what it is that you specifically want. So I've shared the link for my website. You can see if you click into the box area, it will give you all the information about one-to-one sessions, and then it will give you all the information about the classes as well. So I've tried to make it accessible, so that, for example, with the one-to-one sessions, there's 3 types of payment. So it's tiered payments based. So you decide. It's down to you in terms of, you're not doing so great financially, but you need to train. So you can pick that option. If you're doing a little bit better, pick that option. And if you know that you're doing well, then that's what it is. I think it should be as accessible as possible to people, because we need it for our minds as well as our body. So.
Yeah, that's beautiful. One last question from me. I don't know if anyone has one last question. Mine is like, if I have someone in my community who doesn't understand English, would it be possible to follow the training even without understanding what you're saying, or will be
Yes.
hard?
Yes. No, I think you can navigate it. I think definitely you can navigate it. I think you can. It's about doing. So it's based on everything we do. Usually is based on time. So I will say, like, we're all gonna start. And also, if you just let me know, I can make sure I try and make extra hand communications to make sure. But you can follow. So you can follow and get the idea of it, and you'll still definitely have a workout and understand what's going on.
Yeah.
There may be some limitations, but again, I never want to exclude anyone.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my commitment. I didn't know that you do like classes and were like so accessible, like for Saturday. And it's like, what you say, this is amazing about commitment. And this is really important also in the business. It's like if I say, oh, maybe like, okay, Leslie, I will think about it. And then I'll go back to you. And that never happens. Like if you have the opportunity, just do it now. Right.
Just
So
do
I'm
it
like
now.
affirming, my commitment of like being there on Saturday. I don't know if anyone from here wants to affirm their commitment and be there and try boxing, because life is about trying things, right? Trying new things. Trying like, okay, let me feel, because as you, like maybe I'm feeling something and I discover something that is like my sole purpose. It's amazing.
Yeah, definitely. Sometimes it feels good just to hit stuff. Like I literally, I'm like, just hit shit and feel better. Like sometimes it's just, And it doesn't have to, again, it's like women like, oh no, but I'm not an aggressive person. And it's not about that. It's about channeling that energy so that you can release and then go about, you know, in your daily life. You don't have to hit anyone. You don't have to walk around and be aggressive.
Yeah, and I heard that someone saying also it's like Kate Nordrup. It's like she's great. She's like the daughter of like Christian Nordrup, and she has a saying that she says, "Body first, business second." Body first, business second. So I think like if we think about entrepreneurs, we have like we're so busy, my agenda is so busy, but like to fit yourself in, she speaks a lot about that. Fit yourself in, because if you put more of yourself in the business or on the business, I don't know the English, but it will be better. So
Yes, but what I'd like to just picking up very quickly on that point is that when we are physically feeling good and strong, we're more focused, we're more connected, and we're more able to tap into that transformative energy and use it. So all the good stuff that happens just from moving your body, you're clearer. So you're a better business person. Again, it should become part of your practice, your daily practice, because you're more alert, you're more focused, you're more receptive, which means that you're making better business decisions. So that is a really important thing that I feel like a lot of companies are missing in terms of wellness and looking after employees, not only for their mental health, but also just from a performative point of view.
and I think that's the part of the female, like, there is like also authors like Miranda Gray. She works on the menstrual cycles, and she said like if you have like a woman who's like aligned with her cycles in your business, you'll have like a win, because she will be more like, as you're saying, like more receptive, like all the
That's
things.
a whole new conversation about cycles, menstrual cycles, and all that stuff. Like you're more. I found out in sports actually that you're more. It's a big thing in boxing because we have to weigh ourselves. So we have to weigh ourselves before we fight, which means that, as you know, sometimes the last thing you want to do is be weighed when you're just about to come on your period.
Yeah.
But actually, when you finished your period, you're physically the strongest. So it's an advantage as well. So there's so many things that women can do in terms of understanding our bodies and how we do things to make us perform better at work, at home, all the
Yeah,
rest.
that's amazing. So we'll start with that. We'll start with one class of boxing. That seems easy. I don't promise yourself that I'll keep going, but I'll
It's
promise that
okay.
I'll
To
try.
show up, I would love to see your face for sure.
Yeah.
And I've shared the link to the website. We'll also share the actual link to book. And yes, please do share and just try it out and see how you feel. At least you'll feel good. That much I know.
Yeah, yeah. So Leslie, thank you so much for being here in this so special day, like Women's Day, like inspiring people, inspiring women especially to really like box or get more movement in their lives, and also inspiring your story, like, sorry, inspiring us with your story of like being a mother, being an entrepreneur, and being a happy person. We can feel your energy. Someone was saying like, I can feel the energy of Leslie. This is great. So really, thank you for being here to share your story. And let's see you on Saturday.
Thank you all. Thank you all for listening. Take care. Mwah, mwah.
Bye bye.